to the final third movie. You have your choice of these three I looked at. Grease, directed by our friend Randall Kleiser. Red Dawn, directed by my old boss, John Milius. Or The Wild Geese, directed by my friend, though never my boss, Andrew V. McLaughlin.
All worthwhile choices. You know which way I'm going to go.
Do I, though? Do I?
Yeah,
You want?
because we're celebrating those summer nights right this moment.
So that sounds like an endorsement for Grease.
Oh,
So
yeah. One thing that I have not joined your family for, which I would, which we should do in the future, is when next time there's a sing-along Grease screening in the LA area, we should partake in one of those.
yeah, I have a lot to say about Grease on a personal level, and I'll save it for after we look at their work on this movie. It's a good choice, and I'm glad you picked it. So stand by.
Well,
Let's play it up.
only for Jeff Conaway. So yes.
Oh, I miss him. I miss him a lot. All right. Here we go. Grease.
Biggest hit of the year featured the year's biggest star, the Saturday Night Fever king John Travolta, the movie's hottest singing and dancing star to hit the screen since Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly. Music was certainly key to the success of Grease. The album was almost as big a hit as the movie. The movie sold the songs, and the songs sold the movie, like this one from the beginning of the film.
What'd you do this summer, Sandy?
Oh, I spent most of it at the beach. I met a boy there.
You hauled your cookies all the way to the beach for some guy?
Well, he was sort of special.
There ain't no such thing.
He was really romantic.
Hey, come on, you don't want to hear all the horny details. Are you
Summer loving had me a blast.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
Met a boy, cute as can be.
Summer days drifting away to other summer nights.
Tell me more, did you get very far?
Tell me more, like does he have a car?
She swam by me, she got a cramp.
He ran by me, got my so damn.
I saved her life, she nearly drowned.
He showed up, splashing around.
Summer sun, something's begun, but other summer nights.
Tell me more, was it love at first sight?
Tell me more, did she put up a fight?
A well-edited, beautifully choreographed musical number. Now, the film was as light as a bubble. It had nothing to do with the original concept of the play, which was about tough kids on Chicago's Northwest Side. Well, in the movie, it was just a golden Hollywood fantasy about the 50s. I didn't think Grease was particularly interesting when Travolta was off the screen. Some of the sets were sloppy, but kids liked it enough to see it again and again and again. And their repeated viewings made Grease a monster hit. You know, friends of mine have teenage kids, and these kids had memorized the musical numbers. They knew how to dance it and talk it. They had to see it half a dozen times to be able to do that.
I saw it 3 times myself. You want to hear a song?
I think I could join you. I saw it 3 times,
You'd
too.
be Olivia Newton-John.
No.
Here you have a look at Grease, directed by our buddy Randall Kleiser, a very gracious, kind individual, and starring our friend Jeff Conaway, may he rest in peace, one of the true good guys of our business. Misunderstood. I've got some great Jeff Conaway. We used to spend Halloween at his house. I've got some great Jeff Conaway stories, but before I get to those, they seemed to like this movie, though they seemed reluctant to like it. But looking at the clips of the movie, I'm reminded of 2 things. One, how talented the cast was.
Yeah.
But 2, everyone looked like they should have been in community college, not high school, to say the least. But your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, people point out that Stockard Channing's certainly one of the oldest teenagers that's been around, but she was fantastic.
Yeah, she was fantastic. I mean, they're all good in the movie.
Yeah.
Even like the people that show up in sort of like Lorenzo Lamas, like pops into the background in this, and there's all these other actors. There's a few famous extras. And who are those? I'll give you a guess. Who are the people? Who are the extras in Greece that went on to become?
Not a guess. I always have a guess.
But if you know who it is, or you've got your Greece research intact, if you've done If you're willing to research it or do a case study, why don't you let us know who we're missing here? It is someone well known. We should know who it is, and I think we do. We just can't place it. We can't put it all together Sherlock Holmes style right now. But are you a Grease fan?
You're speaking as if you're not.
I have to admit, I think the movie is pretty fantastic now. I don't know how much I loved it then, but I wasn't a kid who embraced musicals, but I've come to appreciate it. And like I said, looking at the clip, the first thing that comes to mind is how talented everyone is in it. Every single, like if you look at those coordinate, like even the people around Olivia Newton-John in the background have precision dance steps rolling.
Yep.
They're all on their mark. I mean, that's not easy. And it's just that's the kind of thing that comes to mind from a production standpoint. Like, let's just see how good everyone is, because that the background is where it starts to fall apart in these movies, but not in this one.
Yeah, the answer is yes, absolutely. I'm a fan, and I mean, I love that Gene and Roger each saw the movie 3 times, and it sort of it looked like they were, Gene was hesitant to admit it, but he said, but he had, and Roger was, just absolutely just because I've seen it 3 times. It's just like so clearly those guys liked it. Yeah, and when I invited you and the family, not jokingly, to join me for the next Grease sing along. I hope you don't think I haven't seen the Grease sing along over the years at least 3 times.
I'm willing to give it a shot, buddy. I think like any invite from you is worth considering, and that seems like a fun time. I mean, to your point, it is interesting to see how they both confessed to seeing it 3 times. One seemed to be reluctant to confess it. The other one like jumped at the admittance. He was like, but these are critics who probably had to see what on average at least 10
About
films a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's right. What 'cause I was gonna guess about 400 movies a year, so that's that would be just over 10 movies.
Right.
Yeah, so
And so to go back 3 times for a movie when you've got an agenda in front of you, that shows some respect for it.
yeah,
Uh,
I will say one of the other things that I love the musical numbers. I think it's funny because kids have embraced this movie as they even as Roger and Gene say, kids are going back and people forget that like in the lyrics for Greased Lightning, there's the
mhm.
reference to the pussy wagon, which I always assumed was what Tarantino was referring to in Kill Bill Part One when the widow, smashes the orderly's head in the hospital door, and she escapes with his keys, and then she gets to his car, and in the back of it says "pussy wagon."
I did like the fact that they go drag racing against a car that kicks flames out of its exhaust. You know, Another actor who's passed away who played like the rival, and he shows up at the drive-in and one of them reaches for his water gun. It's like the 1950s defense. So many great moments in this. And have you worked with any of the actors in this?
Uh, I don't believe so.
Have you ever done combat radio with Randall Kleiser, the director? I feel like you have. I feel like you've been in the studio with him, no?
It's possible I've been around at the same time. I don't know if I've been on the air at the same time as he has.
We should arrange it. Underappreciated director. I mean, he's respected for this, but he's done a lot of great things, including one of my wife's favorites, Blue Lagoon. I'm kidding.
Oh,
She worked on it. But it is fun to look at all these movies, especially Grease, there's a lot of nostalgia with some of these, especially Grease to a degree because of Jeff Conaway's presence. And one of the stories I love to tell, because towards the end of his life, he was getting a lot of flack for celebrity rehab. And I think people had forgotten what a great talent he was and sort of applied like the reality show craziness to his existence, not realizing that it's in itself is a show to some degree,
absolutely.
because he was nothing like that. And I knew I was in trouble in this business when there was one season of Celebrity Rehab and I knew everybody on it. Gary Busey, Steven Adler and I, when we did this show from Guns N' Roses, that's the first person we talked about was Jeff Conaway, like instant, like how much we missed him and how much we loved him. And the thing about Conaway that I tell people is, I'd meet him a lot for coffee in Studio City. We both lived there. Like I said, we spent Halloween at his house, and he would throw on the werewolf mask and the T-Birds jacket, run around, scare the kids. But one day after meeting him for coffee, my cousin says, or someone tells me, my cousin's having like a 16-year-old birthday party at like an islands or something. Have I told you this?
I think so.
She's having a birthday party and a big Grease fan, huge. But I didn't know that, and this didn't fit into the story initially. I'm having coffee with Jeff, and I remember going, "Hey, man, I've got to go. I've got to shoot up the street to Islands and say happy birthday." And he was like, "Well, I'll go with you." And I'm like, "All right." So he drives. We climb in his Porsche. You took your life in your own hands when he did the driving, but we got there. Some of it was driving on the sidewalks, but we made it. And we walk into Islands, and of course, all these 16-year-old girls go ballistic when he walks in. It's still Kanicki, right? And I'm going to tell you, up until like the last few years, he kept it together. So for the 20 plus years of our friendship, he always looked like Kanicki. He was ready for you to call action. I felt like he kept it together pretty well. And he walks in and they go nuts, and he just immediately snaps into the role, and he takes photos with all of them. I mean, he loved it, but they loved it. And that's kind of who he was. He was like Captain Good Times. He's just like, I'll go with you. And like, he gets in there and he's like, hey, this is great. Thank you for bringing me. And he sits there and he has lunch with them. And, they're asking hundreds and hundreds anyway, that's one of those things that I think about when I look at this Grease review of like, man, the heroes that aren't with us anymore.
Hi there, everybody. Voice actor Roger Craig Smith here to talk to you about NMOSD. It can paralyze you, it can blind you, it can even kill you in a matter of minutes, but we are very close to a cure, and with that cure could come a cure for cancer. So please go to the Guthrie Jackson Foundation and donate today. Appreciate it.